Hello, welcome to Airing It Out. I'm Josh.
I'm Jonas.
This is Jerry.
Jerry.
And we are suspiciously in the same clothes as we were yesterday.
What?
Despite both these videos being filmed on a Friday. No. Never.
What? Could we have done them back to back? I don't know.
I died.
This is definitely part 2 to the 30-day
Days of Movie challenge thing.
yeah.
Jerry's had a bit of a drink, hence the hat on sideways, the shorts on the shoulder.
And he's done a bit of a strip for us, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, he's crossing his legs. You can't see anything inappropriate.
Still PG.
Still PG. No, we are sneaking off for a socially distanced barbecue yesterday.
Yes,
So,
because this is coming up Sunday. So yesterday we will have been.
We'll have hopefully been, if the car works.
Yeah.
It should work. It's been a while since it's worked, I guess. But yes, so we thought we'd pre-record these bad boys and get them up. Not that you ever knew. Maybe that's why I'm always wearing the same pajamas as well.
Maybe.
It might not be.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We're just gonna go with that.
Yeah, if you have no idea what we're talking about, check out yesterday's video. It's part 1 of this movie challenge thing.
Yes.
We're just going to jump right into it and continue.
Exactly. So it's just a bunch of questions that Cineworld asked us.
Yeah. We don't need to explain it though, because they'll watch the last video.
Do it.
Easy. It is really interesting. Thanks for playing along and giving us all your comments in the video that we put up tomorrow. But it's yesterday, so we've not seen the comments yet.
This is way too crazy.
It's like Inception up in
here. It is
Or
Inception.
it's like Tenet, which is actually what this challenge was for.
Yeah.
And Tenet deals with time. Well, it's not time travel. It's like time manipulation.
Time manipulation. New Christopher Nolan film, is that?
It is.
It is.
The trailer looks okay. It didn't give away anything, but Robert Pattinson's in it, and it looks like he can actually act all of a sudden. So
I think people have known that for like the last 1.5 years.
Since he did Lighthouse, I think, is when I heard his name like chucked around. Then he got Batman, and everyone was like, "What?"
But then you're like, he can act.
Yeah. No, so good for him.
Yeah.
I think if people's talent's getting recognized, then
exactly.
I'm going to kick us right off with a film with a number in the title.
That's an easy one.
What's yours?
Does it have to be a number as in like it is written as a number or
no
a word number? Okay, I went with I Am Number 4.
Oh, curious. Okay. I have not seen that.
Yeah?
No? Any good?
I mean, if you're a teenager and you're like okay with...
Alright, not selling it.
It's got some okay action. It's nothing great.
Okay, I will pass on it.
Yeah, I will definitely tell you to pass on that.
Sure. I went with a far greater action film. The Raid 2.
The Raid 2.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's exceptional.
I still had Oceans 11, 12, and 13.
I had Oceans 11 written first as well, and I was like, no, I want a film I actually want to watch. Like, Oceans 11 is fine.
I didn't actually go there. Like, I instantly went to I'm Number 4.
Interesting.
Because it has number 4.
Number 4. Like, yes, number.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think the only other film I could think of was In 30 Minutes or Less, which is about a pizza
13
delivery.
hours.
Well, I've already gotten that somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, In 30 Minutes Less, though, it's a comedy where they have to, like, rob a bank quickly before...
Or, like, 127
hours. I've only seen the scenery cuts.
Okay. That is a good film.
But no, Raid 2 is exceptional, worth watching. It's better than the first one in almost every way, and that's incredible, considering the first one is exceptional.
Yeah.
First one's one of the best action films I've ever seen, and the second one,
but I think
one-ups it.
It's really good because it's just pure action that's always good. But the second one actually has some
more plot to it, more characters, and then more stakes subsequently. Okay, your favorite animated film?
My favorite animated film. We might have some overlap here.
I don't think so, because I don't think you've seen mine.
Oh.
Is yours Into the Spider-Verse?
That was my first one.
Okay.
And I got, like, in parentheses, Big Hero 6.
Interesting. I love both of those films.
Yeah. I think they were definitely... Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure, like, all the other animated films that I really enjoy would have been me as a kid.
Kid movies. Fair. Mine is hyper mainstream. But I'm okay with that, because it's mainstream for a reason. It's Spirited Away.
Spirited Away?
Yeah.
I definitely have not seen that.
Nah, I didn't think so.
Ooh.
It's really, really good. It's
Wait. Look it up. I want to see a little bit something.
I'm pretty sure it's Miyazaki.
No, I think I have seen.
Oh, really? With the guy that eats everything. She goes on the train. Parents become pigs. The
I'm not
dragon
sure I've
dude.
seen the entire thing, but I definitely have seen a good portion of. Whoa, that's
Interesting.
crazy.
When? Must be years ago.
Yeah, no, because I actually tried to look this up for a point that comes further
Oh,
down.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I had such a memory of like just push. Okay, yeah, no, wow,
Okay.
that's
Interesting.
interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah. No. So that's my probably my favorite animated film. Although I do thoroughly enjoy Into the Spider Verse.
Hmm.
I don't think it's been out long enough for me to put it into that like favorite of a type film.
Fair, fair.
But spare it away for now.
Okay. I really struggle with this point 18, a film you couldn't stop thinking about.
What did you land on?
I kept going like this is I think the last thing I put in.
Okay.
So I had to think about this a lot, and the fact that I kept going back to Inception just made me put it down.
Okay.
It's definitely not that I had to think
Oh.
about Inception to understand what was going on. Like it's definitely something that people told me like, oh, you'll definitely have to watch it twice to understand it, and I didn't.
Didn't.
um, yeah, I don't know if that's like, I got it the first time I watched it. No, but it's like I
think,
did
though, it's one of those
understand
things,
what was
most
going on.
films are very ABC.
Yeah.
You know, very to the thing. And if you think most film watchers expect that, so to have a film that isn't that is probably quite surprising.
Yeah.
Um.
No, but I did get the whole dream within a dream and how the time
Yeah.
expands.
So I think if you go
And-
into that like the normal film watching public,
Yeah.
and I don't mean that in like a condescending way, but I mean people that go to the cinema to see the Marvel films and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And if they caught Inception because of all the hype and buzz around it,
Yeah.
you are going to be a bit like, what is going on?
Yeah, this is way more complex.
So you actually have to pay attention to
Yeah.
understand it for sure.
Yeah.
So I think most people watch films not to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's definitely not hypercom. That's interesting
Yeah.
to think about it a lot then.
No,
What are you okay?
I don't really. I don't know. I just didn't really come up with anything where like I watched the film and I remember thinking about it for an extended period of time afterwards. But this is definitely a film where I'm like, okay, I'm happy to think about it and like play with the idea of Inception.
Okay. Mine's is Zodiac.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It was an easy pick for me.
Uh-huh.
So I watched that when I was at home for some reason or another. It was a couple of years ago. A while ago. Must be in my gap year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 years ago now.
Okay.
And so it's about this guy obsessing over finding the Zodiac killer, and as he obsesses over it, you get more and more obsessed with it. And obviously, the Zodiac killer was never found, and it's left quite open.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get it out of my head.
Nice.
Like there's sequences in that are by far the most tense thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And it's horrible, and it stays with you. And even now, I can see it so vividly. And I remember I watched it, and literally the next day, I was like, I need to watch it again just to get it out of my head, like just to be done. And it just doesn't. It never leaves you. And
yeah, because you do know that, especially the Zodiac killer being a real person, you're like,
he's out.
He's out.
That's definitely the kind of horror that does get me. Is real.
Yeah.
And I think it's not even a horror film; it's a thriller. But it is. So there is later on, I think, the best horror film, and that's one of them. And I was very hard pressed to put Zodiac here, but I was like, it's definitely one of the only films that has just never left my mind. Like even sometimes I go to bed and I'm like, oh, it's just, it just gets me. So yeah, definitely, strong recommend with a warning.
Okay.
It terrified me.
Nice.
I just
nice.
It's horrible.
That's cool. Yeah.
Right.
This is a hard one.
Film set in the future.
Yeah. I don't know if this one flies. As like if it's permitted or like works.
Star Wars.
No.
I was like, because that's set in the past very clearly, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I had two for this. I
Okay.
changed them out because it's a film that I know we're going to talk about later on.
Okay.
So I put initially Blade Runner 2049,
Yeah.
but ignore that.
Mhm.
So I changed it to a film that you've already said, Mad Max Fury Road.
Interesting.
That's
yeah.
just where I want to slide it in there. So it's a different kind of future, but I thought it still fitted. It's a gorgeous film. We've talked about it. It's worth seeing many times over.
I put down Logan.
Yeah, that flies.
because
What's that place?
it is still like
It's just in the future now. Is it 2028 or something?
yeah. So it is based in a real human world, but also a lot of fantasy stuff. But yeah,
2029. Oh, it's 1 year off. Okay.
yeah. No,
That's fair enough.
that's what I.
Yeah, that's definitely the future.
Okay, good.
9 years in the future. Yeah, good film. Good film. The one
Otherwise,
thing
I
I
would've-
do think with that film though is I think they should have said it further in the future.
Further in the future,
Because
yeah.
it does feel a little bit
Post-apocalyptic.
post-apocalyptic, but not even that. Like you've got every mutant is gone.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, and you've got self-driving cars doing all the crop running. I don't think
That's
that's
true.
coming in the next decade to that scale that's shown in
Mm.
that film. But that's fine. I don't know when Days of Future Past is meant to be set in the one day. I can't really keep up anymore.
yeah.
But like the timeline's all funky, and I'm just a bit like, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
to have this immortal being that's been alive since the American Civil War,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden age, 60 years in 10 years seems a little off. But
I guess
brilliant movie.
it is a brilliant movie. That's
Right.
why I definitely wanted to put it down there.
What is a film that scared you?
Actually, that's where I would have put
Spirited
Away because I
Wow, okay.
remember having nightmares of that film. Just
With
like
the gobble monster.
yeah,
Fair.
or like just like
That's
as like
funny.
just the image of that whatever it is with the ski mask looking face, the white face.
Yeah, that's the gobble monster.
Okay, yeah, just like I remember that
creepy.
creeping me out.
Yeah.
Um,
What did you put down?
I put this is somewhat embarrassing. I put down Zombievers because it had the same effect. It's a crappy, horribly bad.
Of all the zombie films, you
Exactly.
chose Zombievers.
It's a really, really crappy, horrible. But I did have a nightmare, and like I definitely remember there just being one moment where I'm like, I saw a shadow and was like, no. Like a really dumb like no, that's not a beaver. And so like I'm like, this is a
How old were
crappy-
you when you saw that? Like
I was
15?
no, I was 18.
No.
So like it was so strange to actually have a film where the film didn't affect me at all
Yeah.
while watching the
but
film.
the idea.
But somehow it stuck with me for like a day. Therefore I think I just that's why I put down. But I want to scratch both of those
Okay.
and now pose my actual my actual pick for a film that scared me, and say 7.
Okay.
And Brad Pitt and yes.
Okay.
Because that is a horrifying film.
See, I didn't mind it at all.
I just think like the way that people are killed is just like that's scary.
Fair. Okay.
Like especially the guy who gets skinned and then like the entire room is full of flies.
I wonder if I'm just numb to that kind of thing now.
Yeah, no, I don't think like that was definitely like ugh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But also like imagining someone doing that is just scary.
Very nice. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, yeah. If you've not seen 7, get on it. Good.
Yeah,
Good film.
it's also definitely a warning. It's
It's 6.
there's
I'm
some
just gonna
pretty-
move this
pretty-
mouse so you can put that cup in front of you rather
Okay.
than bending around your
there's
laptop.
just a lot of horrific stuff in that film. So if you don't enjoy that, if you can't
It's
handle
not
that,
like torture porn though.
no, but you definitely see some.
Yeah, it's all for the plot. Unlike my choice.
Yes.
Wow, what a segue. So it's funny actually. So first of all,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ruin that segue. When you said embarrassing, the thing that literally just popped into my head. Have you ever seen the Moomins?
No.
No. So it's like this. In fact, I'm not gonna get this wrong. I'm gonna Google it to make sure. So the Moomins is a Swedish-speaking Finnish illustrator. These dudes.
Yeah.
It's a really nice cartoon. These guys they hibernate. It's lovely.
Okay.
And then there's this one episode where there's a Groat. This guy, he's horrible. So you'll have to Google it yourself because I can't be bothered doing the editing to put that back up. But he's this big dude that comes and he tries to like take over the house. I don't remember much of it. It really freaked me out as a kid. Did not enjoy. 0 out of 10. Now that's what popped into my head of like embarrassing things, but I
Yeah.
was wee. So the thing I wrote down was Hostel.
Uh-huh.
And I think it comes out of left field because everyone puts it in the same kind of league as Saw.
Uh-huh.
And if you watch Saw, the first one's fine. It's a low budget horror film, and the rest of them are torture porn. So it's just people dying for the sake of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched Hostel and fully expecting just trashy whatever. It's Eli Roth, who's the guy that plays the Bear Jew in Inglourious Basterds, and actually filmed that the film within the movie.
Ah, yes.
In that, so Nation's Pride.
Yeah.
In Inglourious Basterds, the film that the Nazis watch. He filmed that. He definitely likes his killing. He's a bit of a messed up character, but that's fine. But Hostel, it's an hour and a half long, right? The first hour is a teen comedy, right? And it threw me off like massively. So like they're in Amsterdam, they're partying, you know, in these I don't know where they're from. Let's say Czech or something, some Scandinavian country. Not Scandinavian, Eastern European. Yeah. They're like, oh, you can come party here. It'll be cheaper. And they're like, sure, yes. They go there, party. To the point where I forgot what I was watching. Like it's a full 2 acts of like there is character drama and stuff, and there's nothing sinister going on at all. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they wake up and they're like strapped to a chair, and it's horrible. And he comes way out of left field, and you're like, oh, right, cool, that happened.
Nice.
And then it doesn't switch off. So the whole thing there, like, is that people are the villains. So they kidnap people to, so people come to these kind of centers, and pay to kill people in creative ways. And again, that's my kind of thing of like people are the villains. So definitely the film that scared me the most would be Zodiac, but that needed to be elsewhere. So I thought Hostel was the only other horror film that's really like affected me in that.
I think that is really smart, because then for the first 2 acts, or like for the first hour, you feel like this is a real place, you know, because it is so. You know, people go to Amsterdam to party and do something, and then to be like, oh yeah, I can totally imagine this actually happening is also...
Yeah, it's like, oh, you don't want to come here? Even better than Amsterdam. You're like, whoa, right, sure, cool, let's go. And it's a little bit underwhelming, you're like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden you wake up tied to a chair, and when you try to escape, your Achilles heel gets slashed, and your whole foot just comes away. It's horrifying.
Nice.
Nice. But it's really well done, and I kind of forgot what I was watching, and that's why it hit me. And that's why also the violence feels earned. You know, it's not just cold opens with people you don't know getting ripped to shreds.
Yeah, I think that you just become very callous to that, because then it's just like from the get-go, just...
No, it's horrible people doing horrible things to people that you're invested in.
Nice. That is cool.
So yeah, but the Grogue from Moomins is on the same level.
Nice.
Right.
Number 22.
This 21.
21. That's correct. Where did I put 21?
Hopefully after 20. Okay, I've got it. A film that made you want to fall in love.
Oh, yes. I picked not a film, but a series.
Interesting.
Because I really don't think there is a film where I'm like, okay, this romance is something where I'm like, wow, yeah.
Interesting.
I think that's part of the issue of like the romantic film that is always like, this is way too difficult, or it's way too cheesy.
If you watched our last episode, I was actually lying when... So I do have one film.
One film.
But what is your pick first?
My pick is Sex Education.
Oh, okay.
Because I think like as...
That's with discount Margot Robbie.
Yes. No, but I think like as... Obviously it's very... over the top, and they have all the issues of these teenagers bunched together in one high school, and so it's like a bit crazy because of that, but I think they go about all the issues and stuff in a very real way, and so like, or in a very honest way, and I think that's why the characters also feel very honest. And how they deal with their problems, and how they find a way to or away from one another. That's what.
Nice.
I think that is where I've definitely seen the most honest relationship development in film recently.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for mine, I did want to go for a romance film. So I didn't want to cheat and be like, oh, well, these 2 characters in this action film or whatever, this drama, have a really good relationship on the side. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for it. This one took me a while to find.
Yes.
Because, like I said in our previous episode, there aren't many films, if any, that have a romance in a romance film
Mm-hmm.
that is healthy, consistent,
Mhm.
realistic. They either meet and fall out instantly, or
Mhm.
meet and get on. Then someone does something weird, like in Friends with Benefits, where they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, she's mentally damaged." You're like, you just wouldn't say that. Like, what? What?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just kind of weird. I say that because I quite enjoy the rest of Friends with Benefits, the film. I think it's quite fun. But that bit in the middle gets me. So I'm like, why? What? The sort of character is there to create conflict.
Yeah.
But Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
I don't know that.
Okay, so it's a film. It's Michael Cera and the girl from Two Broke Girls, I think.
Uh-huh.
And it's just them.
Which of the two?
The darker haired.
Yeah.
But it's them. They meet. They've both got their own kind of issues.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the course of the film, they're chasing after this band in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and they fall in love throughout the film.
Interesting.
And it's very natural. It's very
Interesting.
realistic, and there's no weird conflict between them. But it's issues that they have outside of life. You know,
Mhm.
like, I'm not going to ruin it because you should go and watch it. It's quite
Okay,
quite an
okay.
indie film. It's quite low key. I don't think many people I know have seen it,
Mm-hmm.
but I strongly recommend it. And I think it is one of those films you watch, you kind of go, yeah, those people have chemistry. They had to work through their issues, and then they started dating.
Yeah.
That's just
Cool.
right.
I think yeah.
I
No.
do actually have it.
In that
So we can watch it.
respect, I was thinking about Time, because it's also a film like it's just like their relationship is nice,
Yeah.
and that's obviously nice to see and stuff. But yeah,
Interesting.
that's
I do
that.
think it's dangerous though for films. There's a few of my friends are like, you know, of course you fight in a relationship, and I'm like, fight isn't the word I'd use.
No.
Like, it sets this weird precedent for that being okay, and it's like, don't settle. You know, like,
Yeah.
so Jonas and I, we never fight.
No.
Never.
And I have to say, very, very honestly,
Uh-oh.
no, but like in 4.5 years of that relationship that I had, I don't think we've ever fought.
No.
Like, there have definitely been arguments, but like that's only because there was some kind of miscommunication that needed explaining.
Yeah.
And
you're
like as
explaining
soon,
miscommunication,
yeah, and as soon as like you cleared up what you were actually trying to say,
You're,
yeah,
there doesn't need
like-
to be this weird cool-off period. Like,
yes, and there doesn't need to be an escalation
no.
for the realization of that there was a miscommunication.
Maybe we're just not very confrontational people, because I'm the same.
I definitely am not. So I definitely, if I want to argue, I want to do that rationally. So like I always say like, okay, do you want to discuss this right now in a more heated state or emotional state that we both are in, or would you like to come back to this in some other like later period of time?
We've definitely disagreed on stuff. Sorry, outside are having a barbecue. They're being a bit loud. It's way too hot in here still.
I don't know. Can you hear that?
I don't know. They are quite loud, so just if you can, that's
If
what
you
it
can.
is. But yeah, no, like we disagree on stuff all the time, and we
Thank
just
God.
talk it through. Yeah, otherwise, how boring would life be? Like, I really like this film. I really like this one too. Like, well, I don't like this one. I don't like it either. And you're like,
Thank you.
okay, you've just met your clone. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point? But it is really interesting to see what people like about different things, and being able to discuss that healthily, I think, is a really important skill to have.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and it is a skill for sure.
yeah, because there are people that are like, we'll just complain about something, and you're like, well, we're not adding anything. You know, you've got to learn how to state your views in a constructed way and be able to discuss it rather than just moan about something. Or on the other end of the spectrum, I really like this film. Why? I just really like it.
Yeah, and also to
like-
be interested in the other side that you disagree. You know,
Of course.
to still have interest in that, I think is quite important, because otherwise it is that classic thing of like, okay, let's agree to disagree, and then you're like, no, but I do want to talk about that. I do want to understand your point, and
Yeah, once you've had the discussion, if you still disagree, then fair. But
Yeah.
to just write it off and go, it's like, I don't
It's a
like
bit of-
musicals that much. And if you just went, okay, well, you know, it's like, you're never going to know, you know? It's like, well,
why not?
why not? You know, we can discuss that.
Sure.
No,
Wow,
wow.
so mature, so mature.
So great.
No, it's definitely, it comes with, for me, it comes with, I think, having three older siblings just means that you have a lot of discussions and
I
stuff.
guess for me, I've always been quite assertive.
Mhm.
Well, like I would say, so as a young teen or like preteen, maybe I was quite argumentative,
Mhm.
and then went to assertiveness training thing.
Ah,
It's a class. I don't know. My mom was obviously like, he's going to only get worse when he's a teen. We need to make him at least argue properly.
yes.
So I did that. I then got into philosophy, which is just persuasive writing. So I think I like to formulate and pick apart other people's arguments.
Mm.
Quite fun. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
People definitely don't. There are definitely people that do not enjoy
People
that.
definitely do not like it when you pick apart their argument structure.
Especially if it's
as being
bad.
flawed, yeah.
But some
then
people
they're
make
like,
some terrible arguments and like, okay, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Moving on before I ridicle myself.
Right.
Your favorite film set in a fantasy world?
Yes, this was a very, very easy pick.
Okay,
It
interesting.
had to be Lord of the Rings, Two Towers.
Okay, cool. Fair. That makes sense.
Yes.
That needs no explanation. It's exceptional. Presumably the extended version.
Always. I
Always.
don't think I've...
Two Towers? Your favorite of the three?
No, the second one.
Okay, cool.
Mm. Yeah.
I have not watched one of them on its own
Mm-hmm.
in at least a decade. I've
Ah.
always watched the other two at least the next day and the day after.
Interesting.
So I find when people ask me like which is my favorite, I find it very, very difficult.
No, I've definitely seen them separately in the last decade. No, but I think I've only seen the not extended version once in my life, and I wasn't quite aware that I was watching a not extended version, and so I was like, am I just having episodes where I'm blacking out for some reason?
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Where is Saruman?
yeah, I'm so sure that would come right there, but it didn't. And then at the end of the film, I was like, no, it was clearly missing a lot of parts.
Especially like what the third one when there's the flashbacks with Boromir and Osgiliath, and I'm like, that's a huge bit they're just not doing, and you're
or like how they get the globe, the sphere from Saruman,
the globe, the sphere,
the eye.
is the seeing stone.
The seeing stone.
They're not all accounted for.
Yeah.
That's fine.
They don't actually
Sure.
in the films. Do they actually call it the seeing stone? I don't think.
Yeah,
they leave.
Gandalf says the lost seeing stones. It covers it, and that's when you get the flash.
Ah, I didn't.
There is a name for it. They are. Oh, my Google.
Anyways, but that's
No, I need to know.
no, but like if you just don't have that in the film, then it's such a,
Palantir. I did know that. Damn it.
then you just have that randomly appear and be a thing.
Yeah, this is kind of weird.
It is a bit.
Fair enough.
That's
For
definitely
me,
really good fantasy.
So I already had Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been it. I was kind of torn. What?
This is the second Lord of the Rings film, but it is a different film.
Yeah, I went for the full trilogy in one go in the cinema. So I'm going to see one in the cinema. I'm seeing all three in the cinema.
Sure.
So fair. For me, this was hard because my favorite fantasy world
Yeah.
is The Witcher, but in the games.
Game.
Yeah. I'd already talked about Game of Thrones. Apart from that, there's not many, unless I was tempted to do like fantasy kind of rough and be like, well, it's fiction, so it's fantasy.
No.
But I didn't want to. So I don't know if this counts, but I went for Harry Potter and The
Uh-huh.
Prisoner of Azkaban,
Yeah.
which I think is the best Harry Potter film
Mm-hmm.
in terms of filmmaking. I don't know if it's my favorite. I think they're all a little flawed. Just in terms of writing, I know the books are better, but I have issues with certain things in that franchise, but I can't deny that it was a huge part of my childhood. I still do enjoy the films, but the filmmaker in me gets a bit frustrated at the films for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But no, there's definitely, they have a place in
Yeah.
my top movie franchise.
I think that's definitely also the best of those films.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's where the tone darkened up as well, which is nice.
Yeah. I don't know. There's not a lot. Like I think fantasy is definitely my favorite book genre.
It's just so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a lot of bad stuff.
There's I don't know many good fantasy films.
It's incredible how much fantasy
Mhm.
books there are, but just not a lot of movies.
I think it's because only since Game of Thrones has like dark fantasy been allowed. So a lot of kid fantasy movies that are
Mm.
fine to bad.
Mhm.
But it's hard to get that kind of adult. I think the Witcher TV show is okay. Like it's good. It's not great though. That's why I didn't want to like squeeze the kind of video game thing there.
Mhm.
If we're including video games, that takes it away by a good amount. But
Yeah.
there's not a lot of fantasy films. That's kind of a bit stumped.
Mm.
Moving on.
Moving on.
A film that means a lot to you personally.
Yeah, this was one that I had to exchange.
Okay, curious.
Because it will come up later on. But I went with Tatort, De Grote Week. Which is my most recent, the one I was in most recently.
Which I've
that's, it's because I think this is definitely a very good pick for this point. Because it is, I think, the performance, like, if you don't know, this is a film
Jonas.
where I acted in
He's
as
the star.
Yeah,
I'd say you're the main character.
Yeah, definitely to that episode. No, but I think it's the performance that I am most proud of.
Yes.
Out of all my TV and
not
film
not a bad performance.
performances, yeah.
No, fair. That's the CSI crime show in Germany.
Yes.
For our foreign viewers.
Yes.
Although, I mean, that's even important to us. Me, so. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not bad. If you can find it somehow.
I'll try and see if I can.
It's not to be found.
Yeah, it's difficult. No, but it was definitely a challenging role, and I think that's why I am.
Do you want to get into what you did?
What I did?
Why was it challenging?
Why was it challenging? Well, it's an episode. I have a continuous role as the son of one of the two detectives, and in this episode, I do an internship with the police. And so it starts off with me and these two policemen, and we're going to just check on this noise complaint, and we enter the apartment, and this guy just draws a gun and shoots down the three of us. I'm the only one who's wearing a bulletproof vest, so
internship perks.
Yeah. No, it's just like I'm being the smart one out of the policemen. So one of the policemen dies. The policewoman dies. The policeman gets shot on the leg and also survives. I get shot in the vest, and so I have this traumatic experience, and I have to somehow help solve the crime, while struggling with like not wanting to relive the experience, but obviously having to in order to help everyone out. So
fair.
Yeah,
I can confirm it actually wasn't that bad. No, but like it was good. Like,
that coming from you not like fully understanding everything that's going on.
I mean, it was subtitled.
I don't think it's subtitled in English.
Did you just translate it for me?
Probably.
I think we did watch it. Like, I watched it with you, just with you, translated like so every line. But also like I mean, I'm very critical, and I'm more than happy to say maybe it wasn't your best work.
Oh yeah.
No, I think it was actually quite an engaging crime story. Better than a lot of CSI. So,
thank you.
Oh, nice. My pick was Beverly Hills Cop. I'm not gonna get into why. Okay. I don't think. I'm just gonna keep that one to myself.
Yeah.
But it's very near and dear to my heart.
Nice.
For reasons. How curious. But it is also a hilarious movie. So it's Eddie Murphy at his prime. And he kind of has to go to Beverly Hills to solve a crime, and it's hilarious.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'll keep that one to myself, though. You've always got to have your secrets.
Yes.
But I will jump in.
Yes.
Film made by my favorite director, and this one got swapped out a few times, for films later on.
Oh wow!
Because I did this in order, unlike Jonas, who got stumped and just skipped ones. So I made my list in order.
I would have spent a lot of time if I actually did this in order.
Now, I think my favorite director, at least for the most consistent, has to be Tarantino.
Yes, that's what I would have get. Yes.
So every single film, I've seen all of them except Death Proof. Everyone says Death Proof is worst film. Even he says Death Proof is worst film. I'm happy to just never see it. I think Jackie Brown is kind of throwaway. The rest of his films I adore. If I had to pick one, can you guess which one? I did get swapped out, so this is kind of a mean question.
Because I don't know if it would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is it that?
No.
It is not that. Oh, then it gets really difficult.
It's really difficult, yeah. I went for Inglourious Basterds.
Okay.
I think it's probably got his best scenes in it. So the opening scene, the bar scene, are both exceptional in their own way. They're both very, very tense, but they do it differently. And the characters are brilliant. The dialogue's brilliant. I love it.
And you still get like the signature stuff of like telling a story in chapters.
Yeah. Oh, it's
and
Tarantino
stuff.
through
Yeah.
and through. Like, it's not hyper violent until the very end.
Mhm.
The dialogue's sharp. The timeline's all over the place. You've got multiple plot threads going on, and they all of a sudden converge. It's exceptional filmmaking.
See, I did not go with Tarantino, although that would have been up there as well.
Yeah.
Can you guess who exceeds Tarantino for me?
Is it Nolan?
It is not. No.
Spielberg?
No, it is not a director
Not a big one.
we will get into until probably next week.
Is it Guy Ritchie?
Yeah.
He's your favorite director?
I think as of
Now. Is it The Gentleman?
Like, the where I stand right now, I think he's my favorite director.
Wow, is it? It must be The Gentleman.
It is not The Gentleman.
Is it King Arthur?
I put down King Arthur.
Shocking.
I put down King Arthur.
Shall
I
we
did-
save that for
Yeah,
our retrospective?
sure. I'm just gonna say I also don't think it's a bad film.
I don't think it's bad film either.
Let's keep going.
Except we'll get into that. Interesting though. I would not have gotten to that.
Yeah.
Very curious. Right. Sorry, to clarify, if you're not keeping up with what's going on,
Yeah.
we're doing a Guy Ritchie retrospective in next week probably. We watched almost all his films. Maybe if he's your favorite director, we should watch all of them.
Maybe I
like
will
Lock,
at some
Stock, and
point.
Two, Smoking Barrels and stuff.
Mhm.
But yes, so they're that's coming.
Mhm.
So you'll find out more about our views on that. And we should also clarify, if you want to know any more about any of the films we talked about, let us know down below in the comments.
Yes.
And we'll happily talk about them. Some of them we select Tarantino. We've done a Tarantino retrospective, so you can go back and check out our views on that.
Yes.
And some of them we haven't spoken about. So
Yes. If you definitely want to have us rewatch them and
oh, we're happy to do another one. Retrospective
Yeah.
V2 for
oh
Tarantino.
yes,
I'm more
just
than
in
happy.
case something about the film
You
changed.
never know. Honestly, I don't remember what I said about that. I'm sure I could come up with something new. Right.
A film that inspired you. Now
No, you have skipped.
What?
No, I skipped. Never mind. Film that inspired you.
See, here is where I put down The Gentleman.
Okay.
That's why I couldn't put it down for the one before. And
How did it inspire you?
how did it
It's not like talk about the movie, but you can talk about why it inspired you.
Yes. So I watched it while I had to write my script for the uni course.
Fair.
And so I was like, I definitely want to write and want to be able to write that kind of dialogue. Like, because that is just... Yeah. No, but it's just so on point, you know? It's like every line is like a knife cutting through...
Butter.
No, it's a knife that cuts through a sheet of paper. That's how sharp it is. That's how sharp it is. And I'm like, wow, I wanna do that. And I know my script is nowhere near that, but it at least tries to go for
It's human.
it tries to go for a dialogue that is
Yeah,
that.
it's getting there.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's go. All I will say on that is I love that film.
Mm.
And I'm not going to say another word because it's coming.
It's coming.
Film that inspired you. Sticking with my theme, it's Reservoir Dogs.
Mm.
Because it is Tarantino's first film,
Mhm.
first feature film. It's done on a tiny budget, but it still manages to have all of Tarantino-isms in it.
Mhm.
Like, he has a very clear vision of the kind of films he wants to make, and he managed that first film. And I think us coming in, making films, like, so Tarantino did do a short film before Reservoir Dogs,
Mhm.
but knowing that if that's successful, the next feature could be on that level of Reservoir Dogs if you get stuff like the writing down.
Mm.
I think is really inspiring when you see it. Like, you not got too many excuses, especially now with like digital releases and stuff.
Yeah.
You can really get stuff out there. And I think that's really cool to like be able to lock in your vision so early and so
Mm.
quickly. Like, this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
there's a reason he's so good at what he does.
And it is quite interesting that we both went for the same director for favorite director, and then film that inspired you is also by the same guy, which is like
It's not. Yours is The Gentleman.
Yeah.
Mine's is Reservoir Dogs.
no, but like for me, the film that was by my favorite director and the film that inspired
Oh, I
me
see. I
are
understand.
by
I
the same
understand.
director.
To be fair, Guy Ritchie's like up there as well. Like they're very easily interchangeable.
Mm.
But yeah, no, that is interesting. The inspired and the favorite director.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
See. Okay. Now-
This is an easy one for you to guess.
Really?
Yeah, surely.
That
This is a film
makes
that
you-
makes you happy. It's just like a feel good film. You chuck it on and you're in a good mood instantly.
Is I'm not sure because I haven't kept track, but is
It-
this where you have Star Wars
Yeah.
Episode 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just,
Yeah.
I can put on, it's 2 hours of just joy. There's so many meme lines.
Yeah.
The action is sharp. Like it's well done. The lightsaber fights are there. The dialogue's snappy. There's only 2 scenes that can be removed for being awkward and kind of you're like, why is Natalie Portman doing this? The writing kind of goes out the window, but then they're kind of funny as well. Like they're short. They're way shorter than the ones in episode 2. And the rest of it's good. It's a good film. There's not too much expositional dialogue. It's well paced, I think. Just a good, feel good movie with lots of meme potential, so much quotability, and if that's what cheers me up, I like quoting films. I chuck it on. Inglourious Bastards would be there, but it's all in the wrong language,
Yeah.
so I can't quote it. So Star Wars
That's
episode
true.
3
That's
is.
true. It's like French. It
And we lost our friendship.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your go-to? I want to feel happy
Um,
now film.
Well, a film that makes me feel happy is Hot Fuzz
Nice.
because it's just a funny film.
Yeah.
It's not through and through funny because it definitely has some dark moments where you're like, ooh, we're getting into a horror right now. But it's just funny.
No, completely fair.
It has
I
a
didn't
very
actually
good
manage to
sense of
get
humor.
any Edgar Wright. I was a bit annoyed, but I'm
Mm.
glad you did.
Yes.
So Hot Fuzz is your favorite of the 3.
Yes.
Interesting.
I
So
mean,
that's
it's
Shaun of
definitely
the Dead.
the one
Well,
that I've seen first and most often. And I think that's also for a good reason.
Fair. Yeah. Right. Your favorite superhero film. This is where I think we might have picked the same film.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Shall we say it?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Dark Knight.
Ragnarok. What? No. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know, but like,
I was guaranteed to have the same as you there.
really?
Interesting. Okay.
I guess that's also like, is it a superhero
Yeah,
film?
I think it counts.
No, but I think even then I would prefer the Ragnarok.
Wow. So to clarify, Batman Dark Knight
Yeah.
and Thor Ragnarok.
Wow, that was a funny moment though. It's
I
like,
was
oh
like-
yes, we definitely got the same thing. That makes sense though. I would like if you would have like guessed mine, I think I would have landed there for you.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I've watched that film a lot,
Mm,
like well over 20 times.
mm.
Uh,
I totally like I'm very much on board with that being
yeah, interesting. Okay, Thor Ragnarok. See, for me,
mhm,
I love Taika Waititi,
mhm,
but What We Do in the Shadows is his peak for me.
mhm.
So I feel like I'd feel bad putting another film there.
I'm also not sure if I would want to have Ragnarok there and maybe not even exchange it with Logan because I think that's a
Okay.
brilliant superhero film that isn't very superhero filmy.
I think that is also like none of those films are superhero films, really. Like, not really.
They are no. Well, the thing
They're
is, they're
close.
so much more than that. It's not
100%
that.
guarantee.
It's not. It's not that it's less than a superhero film. It's more than, and that's what makes it so good.
But like in terms of primary genre, you've got a crime film, a comedy, and a western.
Yep.
That also happen to have superheroes in them. I think that is why they're better.
Mm.
Interesting. No, yeah, Dark Knight. You can find out all our views on our Dark Knight retrospective.
Mhm.
That was one of our first. That was our first retrospective ever.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Ragnarok, all in our Taika Waititi retrospective.
Wow,
Mhm.
we're so on it.
So we just have to
Um,
do an X-Men retrospective. I'm down for that,
No.
honestly.
Oh,
Of, like, the
so many
superhero?
bad X-Men films.
No, but like of the superhero franchise, I think I definitely enjoy the X-Men.
The least.
No.
Really? Dark Knight trilogy.
Just doesn't like I guess growing up that was certainly ones
They're the
I
only ones that came out as we grew up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean Dark Knight, I guess, but that was kind of. I saw Dark Knight in cinema.
I think there was a long period where I enjoyed the X-Men more than the Marvels.
See, they came out first. Like I kind of stopped at First Class.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
So,
I think
yeah.
I think it was just like because stuff like Civil War definitely was
I
like,
didn't like Civil
what the
War.
heck is
you
this?
can find out why in our Marvel retrospective.
Yeah, no, but like X-Men I definitely enjoy them a lot.
Curious. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that. I feel like they're the weakest because you've got like 3 is bad, Days of Future Past is bad,
Mhm.
Apocalypse is bad, Dark Phoenix is presumably awful. Never seen it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
No, I think like only Apocalypse is bad and weird to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not really getting anything from this.
Okay. I mean, I'm down, but like, whew,
Yeah.
it's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Knight. I think it's just a brilliant, brilliant film.
That's absolutely true.
I've watched it so many times, and Thor Ragnarok as well. I like it. It's good. It's really good.
Hmm.
I also really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. There you go.
That was funny though.
Yeah, I was so sure. I'm sure that well beat the microphone. I do apologize. But like, I when I wrote that, I was like, that's probably the only one we'll have
Mm.
for sure.
Wow.
The same. Interesting. Okay, a
Wow.
film that's changed your life.
I'm quite
My
sure you
guess.
can guess this.
Is it, of course, Star Wars Episode 6?
Yes,
No, it's Vicky.
it is Vicky.
It must be Vicky.
I don't know that.
So this is Vicky the Viking, our Lord and Savior.
Lord. Wow. No, I don't know if that's maybe a bit more representative as a choice.
What does that mean?
As like, this is definitely representative as like for my film career.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, it's definitely not the first film I made.
Mm.
Um,
Definitely what you get recognized as.
definitely, yeah. And so that's why I'm like, I'm not sure if that's the one that changed my life.
Was that the thing? That was what it was.
You know, but that's like, this has definitely kickstarted a lot of stuff, because it could have been like I did a commercial, then a TV film as a side character, and then a cinema feature film as the main character that was like really low profile though, and then Vicky. So there was
Yeah.
stuff that came before, but obviously Vicky is the biggest thing I have done to date.
Vicky
Yes.
2
Yeah.
was bigger.
Mm.
I think it did better.
It did not do better.
Did it not?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it didn't do better, but maybe in terms of
It was
scale,
a bigger film, yeah.
was a bit of a bigger film.
Interesting.
Maybe.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, but this is definitely, and I think I would have put this in several other places as well. Like, this would have been a film that means a lot to me personally, and this is definitely a film that I've seen a lot as a child. So,
Like, hey guys, you want to watch my film?
for better or for
Here, all your
worse.
high school friends over. So you want to watch my film?
I actually did that.
Hey.
It's like rented out cinema, like bought. Like it's
Couldn't do that.
well, it was kind of like we asked if we could get all the seats.
Okay, they're showing
Like-
the film anyway.
Yeah, they were showing the film anyway, and we were like, can we get all the seats and then just like hand them out to our friends? So we
Yeah.
had like a screening with just people.
See, that's the thing. So going back to like our last thing, like films you want to see in cinema.
Uh-huh.
See, I know you can book like private cinema screens, some indie cinema,
Mhm.
and show whatever you want.
Mhm.
Hence, Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Mhm.
But it's never like a cinema screen. Like, okay, it's maybe twice the size of my TV,
Mhm.
3 times, but like not enough to be like, whoa.
It's not
You know,
big.
I want to see it like it's in the cinema. You know,
Yeah.
not like, oh, this is a big screen.
No, like say
seats
Lord of the
not
Rings, you want to look at the screen and think I'm looking at mountains.
Yeah. So I don't want big screen. I want mountains. But yeah, no, that's cool. Because I was
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, you could do that. I was like, maybe not. Fair. What is a film that changed your life? Wait, no, you just said that.
I said that, you did.
Oh, I didn't. I'm really losing track. of words. I picked In Bruges.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of stuff that one of the characters goes through that I related to a
Mhm.
lot. Again, I'm not going to get into why.
Mhm.
If you watch the film, you'll know it and maybe pick up on a few hints and
Maybe.
tips of what I've said. But no, it definitely, there was a lot of stuff I related to and resonated with. It's not that I killed a child. I'm just going to put that out there. If you've seen
Okay,
the film,
that's not
not it.
that's
I
not
have
it.
not murdered a child in a church, okay? That's how the film opens. That ain't it.
Whoa, you got me worried there.
It's like, but no, it's a really funny film. It's a really good film, very
Uh-huh.
heartfelt. But definitely, it gave maybe a bit of a mindset
Nice.
perspective shift,
Nice.
which was good.
That's good. I mean, that's crazy if a film can actually do that to like give you a push in
pushed in the right direction.
In the right.
I did initially have a kind of less impactful one there. It was like one of the first proper action films I'd ever seen
Uh-huh.
that kind of inspired my. I would see, this is the thing. I don't know if it's my love of action films, but more my dislike of subpar action movies.
Okay.
And that was Fearless.
Uh-huh.
Jet Li. We watched, I think, in the fighting kind of arena.
Mm.
But I watched that and was kind of like, yeah. And ever since then, I must have been like 8 or 9.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm just never going to be satisfied by another fight scene in a
Oh,
film.
fair enough. Yeah.
And I was right. The little 10-year-old me was correct, and nothing would really satisfy me for a long time.
Wow.
But yeah, In Bruges gets them.
Fair enough.
What is a film that you didn't want to end?
I again had to go with
50 Shades of Grey, just
like
going at it forever.
Oof, no, this
series?
was hard. Yeah, it was a series, and it's a series they cancelled, and I was not happy with the series being cancelled, and that is Sense8.
Okay, yeah.
And I got, well, I don't talk about it a lot, but like when it comes up, I'm like, it's a shame that they cancelled after two seasons.
Did it end on a cliffhanger as well?
Not really. It ended off on, wow, this is where the action would pick up really nice.
Oh no, okay, that's a shame.
You know?
Yeah,
So it's like the first season is them basically figuring out that they have these telekinetic and telepathic or whatever powers, and them getting to know each other. The second season is with them like dealing with the external antagonist, so this corporation who wants to capture them and kill them for whatever reason, like whatever they want to do something with them and use their powers for their own benefit. And then at the very end is like the first like coming together, like the proper antagonist and the protagonists meet. And so it's like, okay, this is where like the actual action would kick off, and it's like that's where it ends.
That again?
The Wachowski sisters.
Wachowski sisters, cool. Yeah, because I remember you mentioning that Reader Matrix retrospective, which you can watch.
Yes. Wow.
We're doing so good today. I guess it makes sense because we're covering so many of our favorite franchises, which of course we've talked about before.
Yeah. No, I mean good for them because there was a huge like outcry by fans of the series.
Why did it get cancelled?
I'm not quite sure.
Maybe
but like there was a huge petition of like keep going, and so they did do like a 2.5 hour film to close off the story.
Oh wow.
Which is like really
What's the
cool.
film called?
I think it's just Sense8.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's like it's nice that they did that, but it's not at all enough, 2.5 hours rather than another season of TV. But yeah.
Well, fair. Mine is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
I loved it. And it's just two guys living out there. It's like a week or a couple days. I mean, there's a time shift in it, but like it's just two dudes, friends living their life, and I could happily watch that forever.
Nice.
It's great. Obviously there is a big conflict, but I think that just happens for pacing. Obviously it needs to build up something. But there is kind of rumors of a 4 or 5 hour cut being released on Netflix. So down. I don't care if there's nothing. Like it's just more.
Jesus.
Just more middle.
That really makes me wonder, like, how much do they shoot?
I mean, there's a lot in the trailer that's not in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Just little snippets here and there, like scenes that kind of you can tell where it's about to come, and it just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way, but like,
interesting.
I'd be so down for that just to keep going. I really like their chemistry. I mean, it's definitely Brad Pitt deserved the Oscar. Brilliant acting.
I can also like in terms of Tarantino films where like some of the enjoyment of the action and stuff. That one is certainly one of, I think, the shortest sequences where it's just, and then the film is over.
Yeah,
whoa, we waited 3 hours for this to happen. But that's also what makes it so brilliant, because you're so on your toes for the entire film, just because this little treat at the end will come. It's amazing.
I think I've landed it as my favorite Tarantino film. I've given it the time to kind of mature in my mind. I'm like, yeah, no, it is exceptional. Really good. Our final film.
Yes.
What is a film with a beautiful ending for you?
I'm not sure, like, because I didn't think long for this. I just put down
Just word for it.
what came into my mind, and I put down La La Land because I think it's a beautiful ending because it's not a boring as happy ending, but it seems just realistic, but also beautiful in
Do they part ways?
yes,
Okay. Fair.
because it's like they have different ambitions, and so it's like they end up being happy but not happily together, you know.
Okay,
So they
yeah, yeah.
part ways but they're both happy in where they ended up, and I think that's amazing for a film that is basically about their relationship to be like, yes, this is how relationships
Can go.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And probably most
Yes. Otherwise, the
relationships-
world would be weird.
yeah, otherwise you'd have people that I don't know.
Met in high school all the time.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
And so it was very nice to see that bittersweet and very realistic and also again very honest.
Yeah.
Ending to a film and to something. Yeah.
Nice. Fair. So I'm gonna cheat.
Yeah.
I have two. So I have my real pick
Uh-huh.
and the one I had to do because I'd already picked my real pick elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
So the pick I had to do, which I do think I stand by, is a really good ending. Is Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
So you've not seen it, right?
No.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it ends in a way that is kind of an acceptance of their friendship.
Okay.
So it's about these two guys on opposite sides of crime.
Mhm.
And they become friends, and there's that kind of divide there. You know,
Mhm.
are they going to deal with it? And it ends with that kind of acceptance of they are really good friends.
Mhm.
And it's bittersweet. It's sad, but it's it's nice.
Nice.
Good ending, and it gets me. And that definitely is a film that kind of coming up to summer. It's like a windsurf. And like a surfing movie, surfing crime film. It is basically actually the Fast and Furious. Well, the Fast and Furious is Point Break with cars.
Uh-huh.
So it's the exact same plot, and that's what Fast and Furious initially was. It was kind of like a rip-off
Yeah.
on purpose, and then obviously Fast and Furious became worth billions of dollars, and there was a really bad Point Break remake. It's actually okay, like it's fine. It's just nothing like Point Break. But yeah, so that was
Nice.
my pick. In terms of the ending that always gets me, and I feel like the place that
Right.
this video has to end is Lord of the Rings. Every
This would be
single
the
time.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last Lord of the Rings film. I mean, it just gets me because it also is very subtle. So like, Frodo is dying from his wound,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going into the West to die.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't overstate that, so like the casual viewer probably isn't even realizing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's off on another trip. But it is like, no, he and Bilbo are going to die.
Yeah.
It's just really sad. And we watch that at least. That's always my New Year film.
Mhm.
And I usually watch it at a point in the year, and every single time I'm like, oh, whew, it gets me. But it's a really, really nice ending.
No, and especially because you have spent a lot of time with these characters, rooting for them to make it, and obviously not to die.
But
And
they,
then to be like, yeah, they did make that, but also
it took
at
its
what
toll.
cost? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like an arbitrary like he dies after from whatever. You know, like they don't show it, and you're kind of free to believe what you want, but you know, it's like oh, and that's why it just hits for me.
Yeah.
But I think that's a nice place to wrap this up.
Yeah.
You
That's
can
a nice ending with an ending.
Retrospective.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so either.
Huh.
An excuse to watch all 6 again.
What? I'm not sure I would watch all 6.
I've done that once, but never again. In
Wait.
one go. But
This is definitely us.
this is definitely us, yeah. So we hope you enjoyed. Like we say, if you want to talk about any of the films we've mentioned,
Yes. Or if you think we're completely mad with some of our picks because we obviously forgot something that is so much better.
admittedly, these were really hard to come up with. So
Yeah.
I definitely have missed a few of these films that I thoroughly enjoyed that I just
think it's-
couldn't squeeze into there.
Yeah. I spent an entire hour and I was like on the phone with my parents and like
Yeah. You definitely spent more than an hour, because I took about an hour and you were still working on it.
yeah.
But yeah, no, this was fun to go through.
Yeah.
And kind of see where you can squeeze stuff in. And it made me remember a lot, like Spirited Away. I haven't seen it in ages, but it's like, favorite animated film?
I want to see that. I want to see that because I have like
I think I've got it on DVD.
I have a really weird memory of that.
Fair.
Right. guess
Yeah,
we're
we
off.
will wrap this up. Thank you for joining us on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll be back with something tomorrow. We'll see how our tech's working. Essentially, is how this goes.
Exactly.
Cool.